Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for my next Saturday Spotlight video, of course, for you guys for today. This one, we're going to be doing a Alpha character Spotlight video. So last week, pretty cool, last week I did a Beta character Spotlight video, of course. This week, we're going to be doing a Alpha character Spotlight video. So, really, really cool stuff. Definitely probably one of the best villains of the series. Kind of underrated, I feel like. I feel like a lot of people still say that, Negan's the best villain, which I do think Negan is probably still the best villain. Or even the governor or characters like this. Alpha is probably my third favorite. I'd probably say Negan, the governor, and then Alpha. That's somewhere around where I'd place those three villains, at least. There's tons of villains throughout the series, but for me, it's Negan, Governor, Alpha for me right now, in terms of if I had to say like three of my favorite villains, those would be it right there, because Alpha is creepy, and she's a really fun character to watch. Now, this one, of course, this character spotlight was suggested by Lachlan, so big shout out to Lachlan for suggesting this character spotlight video, of course. Thank you very much for suggesting Alpha after Beta, because I think that's kind of cool that we kind of did that, because honestly, even though you guys know that Beta is probably my favorite character from the Whispers, Alpha is really crazy too, of course. Really crazy leader type characters. So, in terms of her character throughout the series, we haven't seen too much of her yet. We've seen, enough of her to kind of, to get to know what kind of character she, she's like. And I actually think that we're probably already halfway through her actual, story throughout the series, or maybe more. Because, and I don't really want to go into any comic spoilers, but for people that read the comics, you kind of know why I'm saying that. So, in the TV show, I'm not really sure what direction they're going to go, and if they're going to keep what happens with Alpha the same as the comics, and it might happen in the first half of Season 10, or if we actually see Alpha, survive all the way up until the end of Season 10, and, when the Whispers are done, Alpha will be done, if they'll kind of go that route instead. So, in terms of, Alpha's character throughout the series, she shows up, of course, in Season 9, Episode 10, and, actually, technically Season 9, Episode 9, with the trail ends here, which, I did like how they changed that to the comic book series version. We kind of had, like, the don't move in the comic book series. That's what she said to Luke, and in the comic book series, it was Dante, not Alden. Dante is a character that's just for the comics that actually might be coming in the TV show in Season 10 from some of the news I've been hearing. So, which would be really cool, especially if Maggie returns. I think that'd be really cool for sure. You could really, do a lot with that for sure. But, in terms of her introduction, I really like it because they show flashbacks of her and what she did to Lydia and how she killed, Lydia's father and just all that kind of stuff, and the mask and all this stuff, and how Lydia's kind of terrified of her. She's terrified to even go outside the prison cell, and Henry has to lock her back in because she's so scared, So, I really like how at the end of the episode, and that was the best scene of episode 10, episode 10, pretty good episode, but when Alpha actually showed up, and you see the Whispers, and Connie has to hide in that field, and, everybody's just freaking out, you got Daryl, he's, like, running up, to the wall, and everybody's just freaking out, and then, of course, Alpha kind of marches along, kind of pushes some of them out of the way, and she's like, I am Alpha, in her southern accent, and she's like, we only want one thing from you, my daughter, and Daryl's just like, no, so, but of course that unfortunately has to change when, they realize that, no, they have Luke and Alden, so they kind of have no choice, but Daryl doesn't really like it. Daryl didn't want to have to do that, and, I like how kind of, when Daryl gives Lydia back, and they get Luke and Alden back, which is great, but, and I kind of thought when we saw Luke and Alden captured that later on in the season, at least one of them would be one of the Pikes, so Alpha would kind of, I don't know, make that scene more kind of like, oh, because later on she kills either Luke or Alden, but she didn't. Neither one of them were on the Pikes, so, which was kind of a, surprising thing for me. But, anyway, of course, Alpha, smacks, Lydia in the face, and she's like, you call me Alpha like the rest, and Daryl's just like, I cannot believe I had to do this. So, of course, Henry goes after her in the middle of the night. Daryl has to go after Henry, that Henry's going after Lydia, so, and then, of course, Connie kind of helps him out, too. So, it's just a really kind of, crazy Henry goes after Lydia. Daryl goes after Henry, and then Connie goes with Daryl to make sure Daryl doesn't get in any trouble and all this stuff. And then Daryl and Dog go, and it's really crazy how they all just kind of keep it's like dominoes. Henry leaves first, then Daryl leaves, then Connie leaves, then Dog leaves. Even like it's kind of crazy. But anyway, so we get to see Alpha in episode 12 kill that one couple, which I thought was a really crazy scene. Even afterwards too, she kind of feels bad about it. She's like holding the head up in front of everybody. But later on, she's kind of talking to Beta how she feels bad and stuff, and how it wasn't easy for her to do that. And Beta just really faithful. Man, I would be happy if I was the leader of the Whisperers and I had a tough guy like Beta on my side. I would feel very happy that I'm the leader, and I would be very happy if Beta was on my side, because honestly, you do not want to be on Beta's side, because honestly, if you're against Beta, good luck. Seriously, I mean, good luck. But because Daryl almost failed at that fight. He pushed him down the thing, but still, So Alpha, of course, goes to the fair. We get to see her kill that one couple. She puts on the wig and the outfit and stuff, and of course she talks to Ezekiel, which I thought was a really cool scene as well, of course. And then we get to see the big scene where they capture Daryl and the others. She brings Daryl to the canyon and shows them the Walker Herb, which I think is really, really cool, and basically lets them see this border. So of course we get to see the heads on Pikes, which I thought was just even now, months later after seeing that episode, every time I see that Pike scene, it's tough to go back and watch it, but every time I see that Pike scene, I'm just like, man, Alpha is just, oh man, she has no heart, like not even close. Like, oh man, she's just vicious. But basically, then of course in the finale, we get to see the Winter Storm. Of course, we get to see just basically winter in The Walking Dead, which I really like that episode too. But of course, at the end of it, which they I feel like they skip time into the springtime because there's no snow. We get to see that Alpha kind of returns to her old camp, and she wants Beta to make her strong, for this big fight coming up in season 10. So definitely some very exciting stuff for season 10. We'll have to see if Alpha actually survives all the way through into like season 11 or something. I'd be really shocked. But I think season 10, I think her death will be coming. I think it'll probably be mid-season finale. I don't want to go into spoilers if they keep it the same as the comics, even though I don't feel like they will. And if people read the comics, maybe just avoid spoilers in the comment section below, because I have a feeling people will probably, and I don't want to not make people talk about the huge comic event that happens with Alpha. But definitely Alpha's character, Samantha Morton, really plays the part well, and definitely a character that I enjoy watching throughout the series. So thank you very much, Lachlan, for suggesting this character spotlight. Of course, if you want to get a shout out from me, and of course, all you got to do is write down below who do you want me to do a character spotlight video on next week, and I will give you a shout out and tell everybody that you suggested the character spotlight. But you got to be the first one who comments. So definitely, be quick about it, because it's pretty crazy sometimes. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video, of course, and definitely I want to hear from you now. What do you think from Alpha's character? Do you think she'll survive onto the second half of season 10, or is that kind of thinking too far, and maybe even before the mid-season finale something will happen? So anyway guys, really cool stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.